Digital Chaos, who started out their qualifier run facing. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong qualifier here. Here we go. They started out their qualifier run facing against Infamous, and they actually dropped that series, surprisingly, 0-2. Now they find themselves in this situation versus IsGG. IsGG actually started off their run against Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds were probably considered favorites in that matchup, and Thunderbirds did beat them 2-0. So now we have IsGG versus DC. And I got to say, Lacoste, now this is a pretty hype matchup. IsGG has kind of been on fire lately. This is a bunch of what I would call NA renegades. These names are all very familiar. They've been around the block. They've been in pubs. They're highly skilled pub players. They've been on teams. Some of these players even have previous Summit experience. We know Stan King and CCNC from formerly FDL, who were at the Summit 5. Snake King used to be on Navi US, which was like at Summit 1 for sure, and maybe also Summit 2. Definitely Summit 1. So, yeah.
I wonder where Snaking was all the time. I remember that guy. He also invented one of the builds. Me, Pycat, and Misery used to call it Snaking build for the offlane. He went like 8 tangos, Stout Shield, and a Flask.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And you mentioned the IsGG is on fire. Did they just add like GG on their logo? On the fire.
Actually, this is the funny thing about their logo. Firstly, you know, when we were setting up like the overlays and all that, I had to double check and make sure with our graphics guy Peter McCormick, is there an IsGG like team logo? And he's like, no, there's not. But I noticed that there was other events using this IsGG logo, and the team was also using this IsGG logo or whatever, and I couldn't figure out where to get it, so I simply Googled GG. And it was right there. So I think that's where they found it. They simply Googled GG and took it. But according to Flea, who is apparently playing under the name IS, said that there is a better logo coming. So he's confident that this is actually a real team and it's still going to be playing and maybe even going further. So that's cool. We're going to see a cool IsGG logo. I'm a little suspect about the name still, Flea. I'm sorry, but we'll see if you can make your opponent say that it is GG. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Are you okay with that?
All good.
All right.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, cool.
Let's check the picks. All right. Seems like IsGG doesn't want to play against Abaddon, which is Harry Potter's most played hero, and he has most success with it.
Yep.
Also, no one wants to play against Crystal Maiden. They don't want to face Abed's Meepo. That's pretty classic. Treant Protector plus Lycan. I already like the picks from DC's side. Yesterday we saw Lycan and how good it actually is. I'm kind of feeling that this patch is the return of the Lycan. It's been in the pool for a while, but seems like teams didn't pick it.
You know, just going back into what kind of made Lycan team synergy-wise, I feel like they're still building around the Lycan the same as what we saw in the old meta. But the Lycan itself obviously has changed in terms of how he's built up and how he plays. But you'll still see like they need to get the defensive support. They need to build around the, you know, kind of heavy early pressure a bit, where Lycan can kind of peak faster than others just with how he can farm. So, yeah, I would agree with you. The Lycan pick is hot right now. And DC recognized that, and we're going to be seeing them probably go for first phase Lycan pickups whenever it's available to them. I want to say, though, can we take a bit of a pause? I mean, there's a lot I want to talk about here, and I want to know your opinion about Digital Chaos a bit, because we got to acknowledge the fact that they did make that recent change. We just actually witnessed Demon playing as a part of Complexity. Most people would be like, wait a minute, he was on Digital Chaos. Well, DC obviously made changes themselves. Yeah. Forev is now on the team, and suddenly the C factor of this team is even greater than the North American factor. We have Abed, Forev, and Dubu, all as imports now, playing a part of this North American squad, which still consists of now Bulba, who's going to be shifting over to a support position, which most people are like, oh my god, he's on support. But if some people don't remember, when he was playing on Liquid, he played as a support for TI4, And they were a team that was pioneering a lot of that Faceless Void Skywrath Mage combo, and Bulba played a really good Skywrath Mage back then, and it even warranted a lot of ban between that synergy altogether. So he definitely has experience playing that support position. I would agree with most that he's better as an offlaner, but I'm not going to expect a bad showing at all. You would disagree?
I would disagree. Yeah, okay. I would disagree for Bulba. Bulba, not his hero pool is limited on offlane. He plays really good Abaddon, and some of the heroes we saw, some of his games on Magnus that really didn't out well. There was a hard lineup to play against land good RPs because it was against Abaddon, but I think overall Bulba is like a better captain than he is a player. Don't get me wrong, Bulba is
I mean, really he is a TI winning coach, you know.
Yes, yeah. I think he excels more as a guy who gives ideas than as a player. I mean, he's always in top teams. Mechanically, skill-wise, not as good as some of the players, but he has really good game knowledge and brings a lot of new strategies and new things to the game.
Let's go ahead and begin to actually acknowledge. I got to say something else, though, because this is funny. I actually thought the Beyond the Summit Twitter tweeted the wrong game matchup because they tweeted Complexity versus Midas like 5 minutes ago, and I'm like, hey, that matchup just happened. Well, actually, did you know that they're facing off again, Lacoste, over on EPICENTER right now? Grant and company and Beyond the Summit are also covering, if you guys wanted to see a repeat of more Complexity versus Midas gaming action, you can head over to the EPICENTER channel. But you want to stay here for some quality Digital Chaos versus IsGG action. I just thought that was really funny. I want to now say about the draft here, Lacoste, a hero that I was going into a bit earlier. Here's Earth Spirit now, finally getting to show himself. He felt a bit extinct in a lot of the previous matchups, but here we have Dubu, who is a very, very good Earth Spirit, and I think that's when you make those kind of exceptions where you still put him in your lineup.
Well, we saw the games tonight or today for you and yesterday that people didn't actually pick Monkey King and Earth Spirit because they had really high pings. That's why this game there's no ping issue because pretty much everyone is American. Can we even consider DC as an American team?
I don't know where they're playing from. I don't know where they're playing from, to be honest with you. They were boot camping out of the house here, but that is currently being resided by another team, making themselves NA than the Thunderbirds. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're pretty American in the same sense that they're playing in the American qualifiers against American teams, scrimming against American teams. So we'll just leave it at that. I also obviously misquoted Dubu, not playing the Earth Spirit. Dubu's on the other team. It's Flea Earth Spirit. Flea also plays a really good Earth Spirit too, though. So is GG is Flea. That is Flea. Mineski Fangay, formerly known as Mineski Fangay, played on many teams, including Leviathan. He's just another one of those renegades. He's been all over the block. Plays a great Tinker. He's played mid lane, but here we'll find him probably on the Earth Spirit.
All right, DC's lineup: Treant, casting Living Armor on Lycan, plus Slardar, plus maybe Lycan even goes for Solar Crest, plus
DC's turn to
Iron Shell. That's going to be really, really big Lycan.
It's just the Lycan right now, though. I'm curious what they're going to get any sort of follow-up late game potential here, and what is going to be their Abed hero. We've seen him play a lot of Invoker. We haven't seen much Invoker today. Do you think Invoker's the pick? Alacrity Lycan sounds pretty filthy, to be honest. But
yeah,
Dragon Knight.
Oh,
that's different. More. It's more defensive. More got that strong fortitude. It can fend off maybe a roaming Earth Spirit. He'll be able to shrug it off with the help of his Dragon's Blood.
Yeah, this is four melee strength heroes lineup.
10 seconds remaining.
It's actually 5 melee lineup, but 4 are strength. They're so tanky. DK, Lycan, they have high base armor and high
Reserve time.
HP, plus Treant Protector. With Witch Doctor,
5
ulti,
seconds
like
remaining.
this ult is not gonna do pretty much any damage. And they're all good heroes against Legion Commander.
And then the Morphling is going to be the final pickup here, and it looks like it's going to be a Yawar Morphling 2. Pulling out the extra bit of late game pepper here. All right, so with that matchup before us, are you a bit suspect at all about the Digital Chaos 5-man melee brute force lineup that they got going for them here? Is it not too greedy? Do you think it works well? I mean, it looks like it just synergizes nicely between each other. This is a lineup that will objectively be able to tear up anything in front of them. But is there anything that they're going to be lacking because they have so much on that front?
I like Digital Chaos lineup more because they have so much control
10
with
seconds
all those
remaining.
stuns, and as I mentioned, I don't think this hero is gonna die
5 seconds
much to
remaining.
Legion Commander at all. And once they get their items up, they have a good push lineup. They have a good combo with just Darkseer Slardar. It's an old school combo. You can just win fight with these two heroes. I'm not gonna even mention Lycan and DK. Plus, they have good anti-push. And they have good push, so.
And then for ISGG, you think that, what is it that then they're lacking if they're not going to be able to deal enough to break through that strong defensive Digital Chaos? I mean, you look at their lineup, their deep push is so-so. I mean, you have like the overwhelming odds to kind of work with there, but what is it that then you see that ISGG's lineup is lacking that they may not be able to pull it out?
Well, I don't like the Witch Doctor pick. It gives him some sustain in team fights. Morphling also needs a lot of time to actually get into the game. He starts to get good at like 25-30 minutes mark and excels really well into the late game. But I don't think
Prepare
Earth Spirit
for
will
battle.
get enough levels early game as well, because all these heroes are really, really hard to kill. Especially with a hero like Witch Doctor, I don't think they will be able to pull out any combos.
Yeah, if I was the Earth Spirit in this game, I'd look at pretty much every lane and look at no opportunities to kind of get those early first bloods and those early levels trickling in. So I'm going to be very curious to see how Flea will play this one out. Whereas you could have been in a different position and gotten something, I don't know, like a Monkey King. Could you imagine if they went with like a Monkey King over the Earth Spirit? Because I feel like the Monkey King ultimate would be like a lot more value. They'd have to fight inside that pit because they're all melee. It would have been super useful.
Yeah, that is correct. Oh, they're going in on Forev. He has a shield. Is it gonna be enough?
30 seconds.
I don't
He has a
know.
waveform.
There's 4 here. Snake King could offer a little bit of extra nuking power if they needed it, but they will not. It's going to be Yawar who managed to pick up the first blood, whether you were ready for it or not. ISGG have 4 members down here in preparation for the Darkseer moving in and trying to get that ward down. Maybe a credit to them showing up early and getting this nice deep obs ward down. Or did they just plant that now? I guess they did.
Usually we see Morphling just getting a agility gain, and this one went for waveform instead, so it secured them kill. Without waveform, they wouldn't be able to do it.
I think it was certainly worth it at that point. Now he'll be able to kind of coast his way towards the lane. Flea on the Earth Spirit's going to be hanging in the bottom lane as well. Him and Stanking might just try to hide themselves within the trees. If they can bring down this Darkseer and really force him out from the lane before he can get to that level 2, that would be doing a lot of serious work, and he could end up forfeiting the lane or heading off to the jungle or something of that nature. And even right now can't even show himself in the lane at this moment.
Out top lane, they're trying to go on Legion, but with Poorman's shield, it's gonna be really hard to take him down.
And Bubble looking to use the limitations of being able to zone back with his Slardar as much as possible while creating space for Mason to do his CS game. Dubu is going to be taking lead on working with the pulls a bit. He'll lead in with a double stack at first, just to be able to kind of keep that creep equilibrium closer to the tower and safer for Mason to kind of work with here. And Snaking is going to be forced to chew through pretty much all of his regen. Only sits on one more Tango, and then he is going to be out.
By the way, what is CCNC doing here? Didn't he say he's gonna retire? I can't remember if what happens after the...
Oh, you know, kids these days, they say things on the internet and don't really mean it. Lacoste, something about if a certain team like Onyx was able to make it to a LAN, he would retire.
Oh, yeah.
Sure enough, they did. But the problem is that Onyx didn't make it to the LAN. Digital Chaos made it to the LAN now. So that is now void, and of course CCNC is allowed to play Dota again. So here he is, the 8K god, working it out.
Can you retire if you've never been active? That's the question. Like
Sure.
you can't threaten anyone to retire.
Soldier's fortune.
Yeah, that's true. If you never like really made it so
Worked
far,
it.
how far do you have to go? He could retire. You have to retire from being CCNC. You could just change his name, I guess.
Exceptional fight.
Well, that can work.
I don't know. I wasn't there for the terms, I guess. It wasn't really written up, but I guess he made the terms, and if he wants to break them, then so be it. He is a talented Dota player, and it would be a shame if he was to take himself out of it. He was just kind of, I would imagine, being a bit facetious about the whole thing. No surprise.
Yeah, I met CCNC at the qualifiers for Kiev. He seems like a cool guy, even though he didn't retire.
Okay, look at this. Here's Flea now, stepping in. Suspect, of course, that Forev has stepped away from the off lane, so he must be around here jungling, right? Well, he does spot him, able to soak up maybe a couple last hits, and he'll even take away this little wolf cub too. Forev's going to have to take his business elsewhere. He's still trying to get that level 2. It is a slow Darkseer start. And all the best things ever for Yawar, though.
He's still level 1 at 3rd minute. Witch Doctor on bottom just continues to pull, has a TP ready if there's any dive going to happen, probably on top against that Legion commander. They're trying to scout out with the scan. Shrine is ready, so Legion's just gonna heal up to full HP.
Good jungling action for her to push herself to 3.5 in the levels. What about this mid matchup? Going as expected here. It's a slight lead in here for the puck. It looks like about 19-3 CS. DK 16-3, but Abed is getting in those levels, and the Dragon's Blood's leveling up. Same with the Breathe Fire. I imagine Dragontail soon to come online. This is the matchup you were kind of expecting?
Well, it's a pretty even matchup with level 2 Dragon Blood and Bottle. He can sustain on the lane, use the Shrine really early. We'll get Dragon Tail probably on level 5, so he can get kill potential once he hits level 6.
Not for you.
Snaking now gets his one-on-one matchup in the meantime between him and Mason. Mason is really dishing out some hard-hitting damage right now, but LC will be able to commit. Oh, not going to get connection on that rolling boulder. Abed will be fine. Steps out, and there's even a living armor just in case. This is going to be a tough ganking situation here. And Dubu, you know, I'm curious to see how he will favor leveling up his skills. It looks like, you know, he got that early point into living armor, and, you know, even doesn't even have Nature's Guise yet. So we'll see if he just gets the one value point and puts more love into the living armor instead.
We see a lot of different ways to build the Treant Protector. Most of the players go for Nature's Guise maxed this game. I think he will just go for Living Armor, what Jimmy did in the previous game, because it's more needed. They don't have that much of a kill potential on top. They do have, but the Legion Commander can remove the slow with press the attack, so he should be fine.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense here. Just getting that extra bit of defensive save for DC seems a lot more valuable. Be able to bail out someone like the Lycan just in case he gets himself into a bit of trouble here, while their killing potential is not really going to be online for quite a while anyways. Snaking back in the grind as for now as he continues to truck his way through this kind of easier matchup for him. He'll even go for some side jungling in the meantime here. And all the meanwhile, though, it's mid lane. It's CCNC who's going to get dropped from Abed. A setup, it looks like there from Bulba. But Bulba didn't even use the stun. They just get it done?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
he did use a stun earlier, yeah. Oh, this Earth Spirit just taking so much XP from this Darkseer and molesting him in the forest.
Yeah, Forev not really happy about it, but he has been able to get himself to at least level 4 and has been able to grab that soul ring, so it does make things a lot easier here. Looks like Bulba has been spotted by Snaking here, going in a bit deep behind the tower. Is Snaking about to get sandwiched in between 3? He might have to hit the left-hand side, or rotations may have to come, and there comes 2 of them. They connect with the crush. The coconut will fly out. Is it going to get a good bounce? The second bounce is going to be jumping instead onto Mason here. They get connection with the Maldict onto Dubu, but they're going to need a bit more. That's where Flea comes in. Can he get the boulder smash? No. It's a bit too far. Dubu easily sidesteps it, and they will avoid the potential counter initiation from IzGG.
There's a lot of missed spells on top, especially from Earth Spirit. That's what I mentioned, that Legion Commander is really hard to take down. The PMS even brought infused Raindrop, so pretty much unkillable on top. Even if they try to dive him, he's soon to be level 6, so he can get some damage if they try to TP, especially with Puck, who's
Looks
level
like
6
they
right now.
make a move on UR in the bottom lane. Bulba looking to move in, has an Ion Shell, gets good connection with the Crush, but that's when UR starts bringing in the gains and flexing out that strength Morth a bit. It will force him back and force him to chew through all of that mana. But on the way out, Bulba could be spotted here. Flea crosses paths, but even though Stan King is right behind him, they are not going to pull the trigger on anything.
Yeah, at least Darkseer is getting some levels, level 4. Is pretty high level. Level 4 has Tranquil Boots completed.
Yeah, it's a recovery path. You know, it's not as great as you would like it for a Darkseer that would normally be able to kind of, hang in the lane. But that's credit for IzGG to kind of bully him out and, just force him to kind of spend that extra bit of time to really kind of be relevant and meet that quota. Things could tend to turn up a bit here for IzGG. We got level 6s online for some of these cores. CC and C has a coil now ready to go. He is going to build straight into the Veil, it looks like here. I wonder if the Veil or the coil alone is going to be good enough to kind of make some action happen, or if they're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
I think it's a good choice, yeah, to get some armor. Veil provides you armor against DK, against Slaughter, against Lycan. It's really good. Plus, they have good magical damage. Coconuts, Puck, Earth Spirit as well. Plus, Overwhelming Gods. That's a lot of magical damage. So, really good item. We see Pucks going for Midases. I don't think this game.
Here comes trouble. DC have moved in with a smoke, and Bulba, actually almost managed to cross paths with Snake King. Couldn't quite get the stun connection there, but now ends up finding it just after they're able to burst through Stan King. They'll get the crush onto Snake King. He does end up walking back it away, but looking to step in is going to be Yawar. The coil's also there. They dish out the hit and the nuke, but it's still not good enough. Yawar flexes off the pressure a bit. CC&C steps in, and Flea also rotating in. No one goes down. And IzGG will hit the showers and healing up after that battle.
Yeah, that's their strength. 4 strength heroes with Treant Protector. These heroes don't go down really easily.
Yeah, we could be seeing a lot of that this game. Crazy skirmishes and battles, and then it's like, wait, no one even really died there. Okay, well, whatever. 2-1. Close to 10 minutes into this.
Well, that's strength heroes plus Treant Protector. Okay, he went for 3 points in living armor. Wants to go for pretty obvious build. I'm surprised he skipped Tranquil Boots, at least for that extra movement speed though.
My waters rise. Invisibility.
Dubu currently walking around and stalking a bit as they leave Stan King the bottom lane to kind of recover in his own bit of farm. Nearby is Flea under his invis. He has not really been able to be too proactive, this is far from the olden days of what people consider the OS Frog Earth Spirit, when he's probably getting kills across the map. A 0-0-1 Earth Spirit is feeling far from it. But like you said, he's able to move across the map a bit faster, has the Tranquils and stuff, but the setups aren't going to come easy. He's just going to have to wait till he gets magnetized and hope that they can make a team. But you're fighting into a team of mass strength and fatness, so I think magnetized might not even be super potent unless he's able to kind of recharge it with all of his stones,
Earth Spirit, that's the problem with the Earth Spirit pick these days. Either you go like super good, get some levels, but you need to connect to those rolling boulders early. He just bought Dome of Knowledge, so he's level 5.5. But if there's no action, you pretty much end up being under-leveled.
That's where the monkey pick seems a bit sweeter at the moment. He's able to just kind of if he's feeling like a bit irrelevant at the moment, like kind of, you know, Flea's right now, he's trying to find out where he can get maybe a bit of XP, try to get to level 6. Like a Monkey King would be able to just jump across the trees and find intel and scout things out and maybe set up opportunities. It's just feeling like so much more of a valuable pickup, but that's just my opinion on it. Here comes DC, though, softening up the tower, swinging a miss on the boulder smash, and he tried to stylize with the grip along the way, but he misses that too. Oh, I respect it, Flea. You tried it on that one. They're still able to burst through and get a hold of Mason. And look at this, Abed trying to TP out in a way. They'll cancel it with the adapted strike. He gets hit with the living armor, and he just walks away from it. Oh, come on, Flea. It's tough, I know. Can't quite get the holy boulder there. Steps back in a way, and Abed turns and strikes him, but they still can't do enough to that tough iron hide shell of this dragon.
This DK can tank so much.
That Dubu has root right there. Flea's close. He's got to be careful. Oh, he's going to commit the root, and he's got the iron shell. Begins to punch it home.
17.
He's got boulder smash. He tries to kick and stun him. He does manage to make the connection right there, and Yawar will be able to wave out. But look at the re-engagement coming in from CCNC. Looking to set things up. Dubu, though, running in, looking to hide within the trees. Needs one more second to go invis, but they have the dust ready. It doesn't matter. Flea connects with this boulder smash and will be able to get the last hit. That will also help him get to his level 6 and finally get that magnetized ready to go.
Yeah, they spent so much time on top. Meanwhile, Slardar got his level 6, and on bottom lane, Darkseer got so much farm, getting really close to that mech, level 8, getting back into the game.
It was very, very long, and lots of space was created pretty much for most of the benefit of DC there. I mean, Yawar was happy to kind of get in the action, get his hands dirty, but he needs to get back to his farm now, because he's kind of going to be the potential insurance policy for IsGG. Though Snaking has got great levels now. I mean, he's level 10. He hasn't been able to get a duel yet, so it's time to start building up some damage here. We have Stan King, though, at level 6, so duel and the Death Ward is pretty nice.
Death Ward, duel, and spells should get some damage.
There's just too much assertive force coming in from DC here in bottom lane, and it's going to force IsGG to withdraw, and that's going to allow Abed and company to be able to soften up, make a move for this tier 2. At that same moment, pressure is going to be coming from Yawar and sneaking towards this mid lane, and DC are thinking about defending it, but Mace like it's blocking your mistake. Nice quick silence is going to be there, and they should be able to burst apart before the shapeshift will come out. Nice quick rip. Dust is going to be popped here, and that's what they're going to see too. He's going to be forced to dish out the root, and it's important defensively to step it away. He's boldly about engaging. Looks like he won't be able to, and it's going to be IsGG claiming that it is what's happening. Yeah, IsGG is outnumbering the DC at the moment. DC has to fight for the top lane, and not on the mid, they just need to have more heroes. Maybe it's not the right timing yet, but once the mech's up and it's up right now, they can start 5-manning up. Looks like they'll also grab that tier 1 at the top. This will get CC that much closer towards his blink dagger he's hoping to grab. Be a big pickup. He's also been able to get a bit of time, so he's got some stones online for that big magnetized push. I'm curious if anyone on DC is going to recognize any of the magical damage and consider something like Pipe. I mean, Mag, I think, kind of fit the bill pretty good. Being able to shrug off both that magical damage, but Mira decommitted from Dubu is able to spot out Stan King. He wasn't invisible, so it doesn't lead in with a bash. Stan King's going to be able to just get the quick fire coconut and walk away. Now rotation's coming in from IsGG on the ward planted though. Vacuum wall to grab a hold of Stan King, and then the immediate shapeshifter crush. Coil doesn't connect with a lot. Magnetized 7, can they stack up the damage as much as possible here? There's the King, adds a bit more, but these guys are so damn tanky at the moment. They just simply pop it back and walk away. Can't go wrap around the kinds of the tier 1 tower. They've been placed the ward, walls are committed. Also taking a good combo, really protecting the bash, almost walking around doing a lot of damage. That's super annoying. We do not get to see very often in the 3DS combo, and it's looking pretty cool here. Yawar is like a pop ball, but then he gets a little ball on the side. Hits with the guys striking the way from combo, and he's going to be going down. Look at this, he's thinking about backing on up. Here goes Lee, they're rolling in, up and turns around, gets off the stun. A beautiful root's going to be there, going to get the finish of Stan King. Yes! It's going to get grabbed up from Abed. Yawar
softening, but I think they're a bit dry on some more double casting, so I think that will be as far as SGG will go. If you take a look at the recap, so it's a small swing there with back end taking on the Stand King.
Yeah, Yamar sitting on the top of that network with 1.5k ahead of Lycan. Links is already done, so once you get Dragon Knight can stun him, you can cast Slaughter, so he can be really cocky in those fights after the coil is landed.
See the medallion coming together here also for the trio. I like that pick up a lot going against Morphling and Legion Commanders, certainly. Love to have that extra bit of armor. Of course, later getting Soul Crest, making things very, very difficult. More staking in this game, possibly. They traverse through that bottom lane, but it's going to be SGG on the move. Like he was staking, but he misses where Mason is. They still want to hunt for it, but they decide to pull away. Rotations could be coming. They're going to go ahead and drop the center to see if Dubu is going to be around. They think of the coil, doesn't connect on to do. Jump into duel. This time it finds it. It's going to be on to a quick takedown for Rev. The newcomer here going to be adding in the first bit of damage to staking. They're not done yet. I'll bet also going to get locked down. Can they burst them apart here? It looks like he's toggling his way. It's staying alive. Wolfly rolling over on him. He gets quickly punched there. It is not his game, unfortunately, as he does go down. The rest of his GG will back on out. From the throw of the gold. What a goal from a bet he can earn on himself. Timed it really well. Limitable. He did it twice in fight. Really good stuff. They need to avoid trouble. Yeah, they need the blink dagger from Slaughter so they can execute the combo. Right now they're being outnumbered again and again. Legion Commanders started to get some damage from duels. Priority is Darkseer in those fights. Making really good use of that blink dagger, and CCNC is not hesitating to use a coil on one hero, just get a pick off. Veil's done, it's got that blink dagger, and it looks like Mules will be the next form. Mules obviously will help being a bit more evasive, take off amp damage, maybe just throw them lightning straight up in the air to avoid some further trouble.
Yeah, well, like I'm going to discuss his build, given from Mask of Madness and Armlet. It's pretty much the same thing you get from Echo Saber into Solar Crest build. Solar Crest, maybe a bit more when it's needed to have some kind of miss where they have the right clickers, they still don't have any. So what he needs is BKB, with the magic damage. That should be, I mean, like, but once he uses Shape Shift, he just uses Mask of Madness. Before he uses Haru,
maybe top lane, looking to go for Red here. Say, smack down that coil like you're talking about, not afraid. He did it just for the pick. He'll even use the magnetize. Certainly there will be enough magical firepower to get the job done.
Okay, Bola just picked up his blink dagger and one smoke. Then we need to not show that blink dagger. So, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, it happened again. It's a timing thing for sure. We are robotic again, so this is where they said I'm going to have to try out unplugging the Scarlet and plugging it back in. So you're going to not hear me for a second, okay? Unplugging.
And you still hear me, it looks like. And I'm going to plug it back in. All right, I'm just going to hope in 5 minutes time now it's going to be fixed. This is what our tech guys asked me to do, and I'm going to be doing it. 5 minutes, so you're going to have to put up with the terrible audio, and we're just going to hope that at 4:50 will be fixed. So we'll just keep trucking on forward with how it is, guys. Sorry about the audio stuff, but here we go. Commitments in from Bulba, showcasing that blink dagger, but now he finds himself in a quick duel, but a vacuum wall combo comes out from Forev and finds good connection there, but look at these GG. Wonderful full death ward going to be there from Stand King. Yawar continues to duke it out, and Flea dishing out the stuns from the outside. CCNC though, forced to phase, barely able to step out. Yawar will have to intervene. Waveforms forward, but Forev gets the living armor, will hold on strong. A new link at top will be there. Yawar is trying to fight it out between the three. He needs more though. CCNC steps in. busts right through them, but this DC squad is just too big. They're too strong, and they just do not easily get battered down. Between all of their bulk strength and the mech, they do not easily get dropped. CCNC will be able to get that final little pick right there, finishing off Dubu, but what a fatiguing fight for both sides.
Yeah, it looked like it favored DC with the good vacuum wall combo, but there was a good coconuts from Witch Doctor, even though he doesn't have coconuts, right? And Puck is just moving around the fight, not getting contested. It's hard to stun a Puck with Phase Shift, Yule Scepter, and Lincoln Sphere on that morph. They need to try to focus one target, and that should be Legion.
So now we have IzGG flirting around that Roche pit right now, maybe thinking about putting it on their agenda.
Behold!
But as it stands, just a little too concerning. Now with Digital Chaos themselves hanging in the neighborhood, some of them coming around towards the shrine. They will finally smoke up and look to make their move. This could earn them so much. Obviously a team that could easily take down Roche. With a big fight here, it will get them some serious leverage in the game. A pick off, a tier 2, and then possibly a Roche on top of it would just be so much sweet rewards. We'll have to see what they're going to be able to do. IzGG are around, but they do have that on the high ground. Stan King doesn't know it, but they're coming in right from behind. He sees them now, but it's going to be too late before he can even react. He will quickly be dealt with, and you know, the nice thing for IzGG is it's just their Witch Doctor who's going to be tanking this gank.
Yeah, for DC it's the worst target they could have found. Imagine if they found the Earth Spirit who just picked up Gem.
Now, are they going to be able to get it without too much contention? It looks like it is going to go down. No one's going to be blinking into this pit. And quickly, IzGG will retreat from the area. All right, DC get what they want, and they want more. There's a root, but CCNC actually jumps on forward and right into the arms of the team. I understand he was trying to avoid being locked in the root maybe, but maybe not expecting DC to be hanging around. They are still in fighting shape and, you know, not afraid to tussle with the last bits of the shapeshift coming out from Mason too.
Yeah, E-Blade is finished on the morph, so
This will do nicely.
Slardar needs to be careful once he jumps in with a sprint or just Train Protector. He can one-shot either Slardar or Train Protector. Others have enough HP to sustain that combo.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
DK has a Blink Dagger, so he can stun Puck now if they're not careful.
Stun, pull back. They're looking to go on Bulba after he already initiates onto Yawar, but Flea is but one man. Yawar's thinking about committing on in and can't quite get the Bulba takedown before he does replicate himself back to mid lane.
Well, this DK, once he gets his BKB up, he's really gonna be a problem with that Iron Shell, Howl. All these heroes have high base HP, and with Howl and Armlet Toggle on DK, he's just so fat.
Snaking here in bottom lane. Able to kind of push the lane out as Forev has been mostly the one to kind of pressure it for the side of DC here. It looks like a Blink is next up on the docket for that Darkseer here. Finding better connection for those vacuum wall plays seems pretty critical for him. But this is feeling pretty nice for DC at the moment. This game is actually a lot closer than it feels. It feels like DC are at a good spot, but according to the net worth, this one is pretty much right down the middle.
Radiant's top tower is
Yeah,
under
seems like
attack.
an even game, but right now,
Radiant structures are
with
fortified.
Aegis on Lycan, they're gonna take those tier 2 towers down really easily. They don't have anything to counter that split push with, besides Train Protector heal. That's it. The others, they don't have any BOT's natural carry hero, but so they need to be careful because of that. I mean, this morph can split push hell of a lot.
Alright, we have congregation of ISGG members kind of hanging around the old secret shop of the Dire side, if you will. But DC not really showing themselves here. Do you think there's a bit of pressure on ISGG to kind of assert themselves a bit? I mean, you look at Morphling and you feel like they have pretty good late game, but is it good enough late game to hope to stall this game out, or should they be trying to move the pace of this game a bit more forward?
SGG only has like Morph with the right click and Legion Commander, kind of. The others don't deal any physical damage with all this extra armor and high HP. I still think it favors more DC to go into the late game, especially with Treant Protector, Overgrowth, DK. DK's talent tree is also really good. Once he hits level 25, 2 times Dragon Blood, adds extra armor, can just tank so much.
CCNC almost potentially caught out, was getting stalked by Bulba at that moment, but it's going to be Stan King who's getting stalked. He's just a simple man trying to go in there and plant a ward down, but he will get quickly punished for trying to do so. Flea also could get caught out here. He was with a gem earlier, but it looks like it was handed away. Thank goodness, because he is going to be taken down. He's trying his best to fend them off, kicking them back and away. CC steps in, gets a 3-man coil. Overwhelming odds from Snake King, but that's all the damage they got, so
all right,
they walk away.
Instantly brown arrow drawn on the minimap. It's time to push. No coil.
Yep.
Tier 2 tower is pretty much safe to take on mid. Oh, this is the best rune for DK.
Arcane
rune. Yeah, it feels like, yeah, I always liked when S4 played Dragon Knight.
How convenient. This seems like the perfect rune for the perfect time. Thank
Yeah.
you, Frog. So Abed to the mid lane. Him and his nice, fresh, and shiny 10-second BKB want to go in there and get some work done. Let's see what they can do. Abed and Potter.
Snake King, they
Gonna spot out Potter. Or spot out Snake King, rather. But they're not going to make the commitment from the high ground, it looks like. Could do the same here for Flea. Oh, they're doing it! Jump in, crush. And now with that dragon form, it's just so much damage. He pops the blade mail, but it's not going to do enough. Snake King now taken out for nearly a minute. Does have a buyback, but do not want to be forced to use it this early. But Mason isn't shapeshifting. He's beginning to go in between him and the Dragon Knight. They're going to be doing a lot of base damage here. Are they going to be forcing out a buyback now? Coil.
yeah.
There's the buyback. Stun is going to be there. A follow-up stun's going to be there from Bulba. They still can't get the burst. A jump-in duel. Blade Mail with a Death Ward. Is it going to be enough to get the finish? They will be able to bring in Abed down. Mason has to backpedal out. They were able to get the tier 3 and force out the buyback, but how many could they lose for it? A roll-in's going to be there with the slow. A Magnetize now going to be committed. Connects on the 4F as well. He gets the vacuum pullback. Yawar steps in. A waveform forward. The wall has been dropped, and Mason fights his way right through it, but Yawar will be able to take him down with a bit of redemption. Bulba on the other side, going to get spotted. Yawar steps in, hits him with the adaptive strike, and between him and CCNC, they should be able to bring him down too. A 3-man drop will cost him a buyback and a tier 3, but Yawar will take the double.
It's a dieback from Legion Commander, but with the Blade Mail, he focused that DK and took him down. And the Morph was split pushing and managed to came from behind. No one touched Morph in fight, and he dealt so much damage. Is there a graph? You can see. No. There was no Darkseer in that fight. Darkseer was on bottom, so he was trying to stop the push. But they managed to take tier 3 tower, so it should be fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So we look to see where we stand in this game, and it's close to back even once again. DC were pulling themselves quite a bit ahead with that assertive push down the mid lane after there was a misfire with the earlier coil. It felt like things were beginning to open up, and DC were going to be able to take the first real advancement in this game, but just like that is GG. Happy to swing themselves. But it looks like we are going to take a moment for pause. That's good because I need to crack my knuckles desperately. My hands are cramping up right now. Ugh.
They're getting old, man.
I am getting super old. Okay. Ugh. So, people just tuning in, we are actually getting ready to finish out the last day of group stage action here for the Summit 6 America qualifier between Group A and Group B. Tomorrow actually will be the last day for the lower bracket finals. We already have Team NP and Thunderbirds in the playoffs, but we're waiting to find out who are going to be the other two teams to join them. We have SG eSports that are going to be taking on Complexity tomorrow for Group A. And then we will be having Infamous versus the winner of this series. So one team is unfortunately going to be concluding their Summit 7 run. The other one is just one more series away from making it into the playoffs, which of course all these teams will play it out through a double elimination bracket. And one team will qualify and come out and hang in beautiful Los Angeles, California, and chill at the Summit
beautiful.
House. It's so beautiful. I can't say it enough. And just chill with all of us. The coolest kids on the block. Oh, ready. We're ready to go. Sweet. Just enough time to get back into it. Oh, I didn't even realize that Stan King had been able to muster himself a Solar Crest on his Witch Doctor.
Yeah, you need one good team fight just to get that item. So cheap to get.
Death Ward, Duel, and Coil. The team fight synergy certainly is palpable in there for ISGG. There is no question about that. There's a scan, and it does go off. The back end of it, as Forev does casually walk through it. The rest of his team is following suit, but with that scan read, it's already ISGG pulling away from the top lane altogether, and will probably instead pressure the bottom half. So it's feeling like ISGG are just avoiding the fighting, it looks like, at least for now.
On DC side, they will need an MKB or a Bloodthorn because Morphling will get Butterfly and Solar Crest is finished. Meanwhile, on mid lane, Puck just died.
Quick jump in there as Abed has his own Blink Dagger now. Between him and Bulba, they can just jump and stun lock down the hell out of anyone there.
They just went out of the Roche pit like 0.3 seconds before it spawned.
That always seems to happen. It's ridiculous. Well, I'm sure they'll spot it in due time here. Bulba could give one more peek in. Come on, just blink in there and scout it out. Ah,
Wolf
the Wolf
is there.
will. The Wolf is there. But Bulba already headed to the top lane because look who's pushing inside the base. It's Yawar with a replicant, but he wants to see how much damage he can get off here. He actually forces out an early shrine. But then he finally decides to step back. While over on the other side, able to finish out that first shrine is going to be Mason and company. And with that, they'll follow it up with a move inside the Roche pit to go for the next Aegis.
Okay, this Roche will go down so quickly. SGG can't really defend it. So I was talking about MKB or a Bloodthorn. Even Heaven's Halberd is finished on Legion, so it's must-have item. Not sure who's gonna make it. Okay, Dragon Knight has a Bloodthorn queued up.
Oh yeah, okay, and suddenly an Orchid is now complete for Abed, just like that. Which could be a surprising item in itself. They get a quick jump on someone like the CCC again. Yeah, it's just going to be another form of lockdown here. It's ridiculous the amount of disable that their team is able to bring. A bunch of bruisers. As, I mean, and you're looking at ISGG's lineup, are you just kind of holding out hope for this Morphling to be the true late gamer? Can you out late game how much damage potential this Lycan's going to be able to dish?
Well, he needs also something for himself, probably an MKB at one point. He is full right now. He can upgrade the Basher, and that's pretty much it. He'll need to sell something.
Slowly SGG creep their way through the top lane, just kind of to get DC back inside their base and away from pressuring the side of the Radiant. And they're able to fend off this bottom lane, but I'm curious to see what the call to action is going to be here for ISGG. It looks like they're picking it out. They're waiting for one more second of the smoke, and they're going to pop it. And that's when they begin to make their move. There's a draw out. currently in play here from DC, possibly even reading the smoke movement. Oh no, is that an orange line? That might be an orange line there. All right, here comes a... What are they doing? Are they gonna move across the river here?
I don't think so. They're just gonna stand here on the high ground. I don't think they're comfortable enough to fight against Aegis and not in base. There's 3 BKBs finished on DC side. One is 9 seconds, the other one is 10, and the third one is also 9. But Puck has Aghanim Scepter, so...
I also don't know if it's already been pointed out, but Lycan picked up a Diffusal Blade.
Yes, it's for Morph Ethereal Blade, and he can move Silence, and probably Witch Doctor will get the Ghost Scepter at one point, so he wants to be sure to actually hit people, just slow them down, kill in few hits.
Diffuse, that's for sure. But it's kind of DC now overtaking again towards this top lane as they pressure through to go for the final remaining outer tower here in the top lane. It's Abed kind of chopping it away and going down.
What have we here?
But
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
here is
Dire's
GG,
bottom
very
tower
deep in the
is
bottom
under
lane
attack.
themselves, just kind of going for a bit of a trade. Kind of pressuring in from Forev, but I'm not too sure what the objective here for GG at the moment. They're like avoiding fights and adding pressure, stalling things out even further. There's your War with the commitment in, and there's your War out of there.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Well, they're just trying to buy more time since they know they can't fight at the moment, so trying to split push, even though Treant Protector will just negate all the damage.
All right, we're seeing Mason and Bulba Dubu trifecta here in the top lane. Okay, casual shot. He loses about half of his life. As Mason, he'll get the living armor assistance, but just kind of is GG from inside. They're just throwing rocks and things from outside the window, hoping that DC will step away.
What Forev could do is get BOTs right now to stop that split push and join the team fights that are going on Morph.
Yes, they do, but he gets the purge from Snake King, but they do have the follow-up lockdown also there. Yawar is going to be able to get the BKB. Forev goes for the vacuum wall combo, just landed on right on top of him, and it's going to hurt. Quickly, they're going to be losing Flea and Stand King. Snake King's trying to make it away, but he gets diffused, slowed down, he purges it off, but then there's the crush follow-up from Bulba, and they wipe them all out. CCNC is forced to hide within the tree. He will try to orb his way back within his base, and he does manage to blink back towards the shrine. Snake King dips into his piggy bank to pull out the buyback. If they were having hopes of defending out this tier 3,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Abed's still going in. They'll hit him with the shotgun combo here. Still has that Aegis. Can't quite get the finish yet as CCC does jump in forward. Now they're making their own commitment, trying to get a hold of Yawar here. He's morphing his way as best as possible through it, but he can't. He gets taken down. He's out for 80 seconds without a buyback, and they're also going to be losing Snake King too. And that will do it. Digital Chaos, with their 5 melee brute force lineup, have been able to put down IzGG into a first game submission.
In my opinion, pretty one-sided game. ESGG was like stalling the game as much as they could, but at one point it would eventually come to this. DC had a really great Roche lineup. Roche goes down so fast, so even if they just lose one hero, Roche is pretty much secured, and they can't really focus on both Darkseer and Dragon Knight plus AoE stun from Slardar plus Treant Protector. There's so much. They needed to dominate the early game to actually try to fight them into mid game, but they couldn't find any kills against Treant Protector. Earth Spirit didn't connect his spells in early game, and Witch Doctor is not that much of a mobile hero, so pretty much expected.
Well, coming up short in the execution of the early game, a little bit of awkward synergy, something that IzGG is just going to have to figure out between now and the start of game number 2, because if they drop another one, their chances on making it to the Summit Land are totally gone. Digital Chaos, though, got to be